There's more reaction to the story everyone's talking about. The CEO caught on kiss cam at a Coldplay concert, snuggling with his head of human resources. Today, there are serious questions whether they will be forced to leave their job.
Picture this. You're at a Coldplay concert with your work husband. You know, that colleague you're maybe a little too close to, when suddenly Chris Martin puts you both on the kiss cam in front of 40,000 people.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Your heart stops. Your secret is about to be exposed to the world. But what happened next even shocked his own family. This is Andy Byron, CEO of billion-dollar tech company Astronomer, and the woman beside him? That's Kristen, his HR director, the exact person paid to prevent workplace relationships. When that kiss cam hit them, their awkward reaction told everyone everything they needed to know. But here's the tea nobody's talking about. This wasn't some innocent moment caught on camera. Employees had been dropping hints on Glassdoor for months. One anonymous review literally said, "Certain executives think the rules don't apply to them." Girl, the signs were all there. Hold up. Before we dive deeper into this mess, you need to subscribe because 3 more celebrity workplace scandals are dropping this week. And trust me, this one's just the beginning. Now let's talk about Kristen for a hot minute, because can we acknowledge the impossible position she was in? As an HR director, she's literally paid to prevent exactly this situation. But here she is, living it. Every woman watching this knows that feeling when you're caught between your heart and your career. The moment that kiss cam footage went live, Chris Martin playfully joked, either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Within hours, that innocent comment exploded across TikTok, Twitter, and every gossip site imaginable. But Chris had no idea he'd just lit the fuse on a corporate nuclear bomb. Here's what's wild. Astronomer's stock dropped 12% in 3 days. That's $300 million in value. Gone because of a 10-second concert clip. But the real drama was just getting started. See, Andy had built his entire brand on radical transparency and zero tolerance for workplace relationships. He'd literally fired employees for dating colleagues. The hypocrisy was so thick you could cut it with a knife. And the internet? Oh honey, the internet was not having it. The memes started immediately. When you're the CEO of no workplace dating, but you're literally dating your workplace. The comments were brutal. But here's what really gets me. Guess who was getting the worst of it? Not Andy. Kristen, why is it that when these scandals break, the woman always faces more judgment? Keep that thought, because it gets worse. Behind the scenes at Astronomer, employees were having a field day. Someone leaked internal Slack messages where people had been joking about Andy and Kristen's coffee meetings for months. Another employee revealed they'd seen them leaving the office together way too many times to be coincidental. But Andy, instead of owning up to anything, he went nuclear. This man decided to sue Chris Martin himself, claiming he should have been warned about being filmed. The audacity, ladies. The absolute audacity. Now, you'd think Chris Martin would back down, issue an apology, maybe settle quietly. Nope. Chris Martin's team clapped back hard. Had signs everywhere saying, attendees may be filmed. Coldplay's lawyers had anticipated exactly this scenario. Andy's legal threat was dead on arrival, but instead of backing down, he only made himself look more ridiculous. Meanwhile, the internet detectives were working overtime. Within 48 hours, they'd uncovered photos of Andy and Kristen arriving at the concert together, looking every bit like a couple. The evidence was undeniable, and public opinion shifted instantly. But here's what nobody's talking about: the human cost. Imagine being Kristen in that moment. Your private relationship is now global entertainment. Your professional reputation is in ruins. You're the HR director who broke the biggest HR rule in the book. Every decision you've ever made is now being questioned. And the worst part? You know you'll never recover from this professionally. The online harassment started immediately. People were calling her a home wrecker, even though Andy was divorced. They questioned every hiring decision she'd ever made, every policy she'd enforced. The double standard was infuriating but predictable. An anonymous Astronomer employee reached out to spill even more tea. And what they told me will blow your mind. Apparently, Kristen had been planning to resign before the concert. She knew the relationship was unsustainable and was going to quietly step down. The kiss cam incident just accelerated everything in the worst possible way. But Andy's reaction? Pure panic mode. He started pointing fingers, suggesting Kristen had manipulated him. He even implied she'd somehow planned the kiss cam moment for attention. The man was spiraling, and instead of damage control, he was making everything worse. Inside Astronomer, it was complete chaos. 3 major clients pulled out within a week. Investors were demanding emergency board meetings. Senior executives were quietly updating their LinkedIn profiles. The company Andy had spent a decade building was crumbling because he couldn't keep his personal life private. But here's the kicker. Employees started coming forward with more stories. Apparently, this wasn't Andy's first workplace romance. There were whispers about a previous relationship with a marketing director who'd mysteriously left the company 2 years earlier. TikTok absolutely ran with this story, but one video changed everything. A former Astronomer employee made a viral TikTok explaining the company's relationship policies, while Andy's kiss cam moment played in the background. It got 4.7 million views in 24 hours. The comments section was unhinged. This is giving me serious rules for thee, but not for me energy. Kristen girl, run. Your career deserves better. Andy really thought he could sue Chris Martin and win? But the real tragedy? Kristen's career was essentially over, while Andy would probably land on his feet. Silicon Valley has a long history of giving disgraced male CEOs second chances. But Kristen? As an HR director caught in a scandal like this, she'd struggle to find work anywhere in the industry. The unfairness is staggering. Sources close to the company say she's considering a complete career change. Maybe law school, maybe consulting. Anything to escape the stigma of this scandal. Meanwhile, Chris Martin's reaction to this whole mess? Absolutely iconic. While Andy was threatening lawsuits and Kristen was job hunting, Chris continued his tour completely unbothered. But behind the scenes, Coldplay quietly adjusted their filming policies. Not because they were wrong, but to avoid future drama. A source close to the band said Chris privately joked it was just another day at the office. But they were genuinely surprised by how nuclear Andy's reaction was. Just when you thought this story couldn't get more dramatic, TMZ dropped a bombshell. They obtained security footage from the office building showing Andy and Kristen in what appeared to be intimate moments in the parking garage. The timestamp? 3 months before the concert. This relationship had been going on way longer than anyone realized. The footage also showed them being very careful about arriving and leaving separately during business hours. They knew exactly what they were doing and had been actively deceiving their own company. So where are they now? Andy Byron has essentially vanished from public view. He stepped down as CEO to focus on personal matters, which is corporate speak for, I screwed up spectacularly. Kristen resigned the day after the parking garage footage leaked, citing personal reasons. But here's what's really wild. They're apparently still together. Paparazzi spotted them at a coffee shop in Santa Monica last week, looking very much like a couple. So maybe it was worth it? Or maybe they're just trauma bonded at this point. This scandal has changed how companies think about workplace relationships forever. HR departments across Silicon Valley are rewriting their policies. Some companies are requiring executives to disclose relationships immediately. Others are banning them entirely. Andy and Kristen accidentally started a workplace revolution. But the real conversation this sparked? About power dynamics, double standards, and how differently men and women are treated when scandals break. Ladies, we need to talk about this. Have you ever been caught in workplace drama like this? And honestly, do you think Kristen knew what she was risking when she started this relationship? Hit subscribe because celebrity scandals like this are exploding right now and you don't want to miss what happens next. I've got 3 more workplace relationship disasters dropping this week, including one that involves a very famous streaming platform CEO. Drop a comment. Team Andy or Team Kristen? And be honest, would you have handled this differently? Because in today's hyper-connected world, one moment of bad judgment can destroy everything you've worked for. The moral of the story? When you're playing with fire at work, sometimes the whole building burns down. And unfortunately, it's usually the woman who gets blamed for lighting the match. What do you think? Was this just bad luck? Or did they deserve what happened? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more celebrity tea that'll keep you up at night.